Is there a way to remove the pain points and shift from crowded red ocean competition to a wide-open new market that could pull in all new demand as well? One Korean startup created a blue ocean in this bloody travel industry.
Hi, I'm Donggun Lee, the CEO of MyRealTrip.
Donggun Lee was a non-customer of package tours. After having an unpleasant experience on a package holiday, he identified a business opportunity if he could solve the existing problems the tour industry faced.
When we decided to launch our travel business, we focused on the problems facing package tours. We discussed this idea with our early investors who used to travel with group package tours and figured out that compulsory shopping was the biggest problem, followed by undifferentiated tour programs. We wondered why on earth this problem occurred and found that there are too many intermediary agencies between the local guides who deliver actual services and the travelers. Because of those intermediaries, the package price had to increase. But it couldn't, as package tours are supposed to be cheap. Therefore, tour companies cut the guides' fees in order to keep the package tour price cheap.
MyRealTrip eliminates the middlemen in the package tour industry chain and connects travelers directly to local guides. But there is something else special about MyRealTrip.
I was an exchange student in college and stayed in Germany. I traveled a lot and I learned different cultures by interacting closely with the local people. Thinking about that experience, I thought, what if the local people show the travelers around, sharing their life and knowledge about the area?
Traditionally, tour operators mechanically take travelers to as many tourist sites as possible, only allowing for time to take pictures and do some shopping. Most travelers feel they are not attached to the tour guides or the area. MyRealTrip believes that local guides can make the travel experience more personal and unique.
Guides can be more than simple tour guides or interpreters. They can create more value beyond their typical roles.
Instead of designing a day-long tour program along with tourist attractions, MyRealTrip focuses on creating unprecedented tour programs based on experience. Breaking down the package tour itinerary into an a la carte tour program, people can choose what they want to experience. Museum tours might feature a PhD in art history, and wine tasting tours a sommelier.
One of the interesting tours in Paris takes visitors from one location to another to sketch the Parisian cityscape, guided by an art school student. This is so different from conventional guided tours. There is another interesting tour in Rome, where, for example, the tour starts at the local market. Travelers then shop for groceries and go to the guide's apartment to cook. They cook Italian food together and enjoy it. It is hard to define the role of the local guides. I would say it embraces all possible experiences that travelers can enjoy.
Here is how MyRealTrip works. Users can search tour products by city, then filter the results by date and activity. When a user clicks a particular tour in the list, an introductory video presents the tour as well as the guide's profile. Practical information, such as price, available dates, and traveler reviews are also made available. Users can contact the guide directly in order to ask questions, and even customize tour programs based upon their interests, time, and budget. Once the transaction is processed, the tour can begin. MyRealTrip provides a unique travel experience beyond that of either a package or independent tour. I was planning a trip to Barcelona and really wanted to get to know more about Gaudi. I did not want the package tour on Gaudi, and I wasn't sure how much I would learn on my own without a guide. MyRealTrip offered several tours on Gaudi. I selected one given by a guide who has lived in Barcelona for decades and studied architecture. Together, we explored many of Gaudi's masterpieces, and I listened to the many hidden stories about Gaudi and Barcelona based on his knowledge and living experience. By the end of the day, I felt like I had toured Barcelona with a local friend who had taken the time to share his passion for Gaudi. It was a very convenient and meaningful experience. Instead of looking into the conventional tour operator market, My Real Trip reached out to unconventional guides, like artists, students, and freelancers, who were able to design truly unique guided tours based on their individual fields of experience. So, it created a new market for ordinary Korean expats, not professional tour operators, who could now serve this purpose as an independent tour guide and earn money while sharing their passion.
When I was in Germany, I met many Korean immigrants and students. They usually worked as part-time local guides or as interpreters. The job postings were usually exchanged on Korean expat websites. Berlin Report is the name of the online Korean community in Germany, and I listed a job opportunity introducing My Real Trip. We got an immediate response. Then we moved on to France, to France Zone, followed by the UK on O4 UK. So to start with, we recruited local guides from the Korean community based in Europe.
Becoming a guide on My Real Trip is open to everyone, though guides go through a thorough screening process to assess their competencies and trustworthiness.
We conduct Skype interviews with all applicants for about 30 minutes to 1 hour. It is important to check their credibility by meeting with them. We also ask for official documents like visa or immigration cards to make sure they are legitimate and authorized to work.
My Real Trip does not limit its operational locations and has opened up the travel market beyond the major tourist hotspots around the world. Wherever a My Real Trip guide is located, a tour program is offered. For example, in Germany, My Real Trip operates in 24 cities.
I still remember our first customers. It was the 2nd of December in 2012. A group of officials from Seoul City Hall planned on taking a business trip to Freiburg in Germany. Freiburg is a well-known eco-friendly city, 3 hours away from Frankfurt. They needed someone to take them to Freiburg and guide them through the city. The group was not looking for a package or independently to travel alone. They saw My Real Trip as the only alternative that could meet their needs.
For My Real Trip, the guides are at the core of the business. They are the most important partners. The company provides a seamless service for guides to create tour programs, manage appointments, correspond with customers, and process the payments. It also provides them with administrative and legal support, as well as marketing resources.
We provide our guides with useful resources, such as a community blog for guides where they can learn best practices and tips for designing and operating their tour programs more effectively.
With such a complete range of resources at hand, guides are highly engaged as they are responsible for creating and running their own tour programs, which includes the pricing of their offering. It is free to become a My Real Trip guide and list tour programs. The company takes a 20% commission when the revenue is incurred.